Hi everybody and welcome back to the IMG Marvels YouTube page. My name is Dr. Malvika.
Hi, my name is Hiba Afridi and today we're going to be talking about the SJT exam.
As the name suggests, in this exam you will be presented with multiple situations and then you have to use your judgment in order to navigate the question in the best way possible as an ideal doctor at your level, which was going to be a foundation trainee level. The SJT exam, also known as the Situational Judgment Test, is given every year by UK graduates and IMGs alike trying to apply to the Foundation Year 1 program.
Previously, only FY1 applicants would sit the SJT. Now, in addition to the Foundation Year 1 applicants, Foundation Year 2 Standalone applicants who meet the long listing criteria will be required to sit the SJT.
Previously, the exam only had two types of questions. These were ranking questions and MCQ questions. This year, a new third section has been added, which will include rating questions, and we'll go into the details of all of these three later in the video. So this year, the test can be given remotely. You don't have to be in the UK in order to get this test. You can do the test in some Pearson VUE centers all around the world. Please check if you have one near you or if you want to be doing the remote test.
Please make sure you watch the Situational Judgment Test video posted by the Health Education England. The link is down below. It is a very useful video. It shows all about what has changed and what to expect in the exam. FY1, the SJT is counted as 50% of their foundation program score. It is 140 minutes long. And the SJT score will be available to view on Oriel on the same day as the deanery allocations come out.
The bookings of the remote test will be open from the 9th to the 23rd of November. So make sure that you book your test early in order to be able to get a spot.
For Foundation Year 2, SJT is required for the candidates who have been longlisted. This is a new stage added to the recruitment process. Only high-scoring applicants will be invited for the stage 2 in the recruitment process, which is the interview. It is going to be only 45 minutes long, and the SJT result will be released on 5th April 2021. So this exam is extremely important for FY1 and FY2 standalone applicants.
So a lot of the IMGs will also be giving the PLAB exams, and I'd like to remind you that while the PLAB exam is a pass or fail exam, this exam is not a pass or fail exam. Your score really counts, and so make sure that you really study for this exam, take it very seriously. So a lot of people go into this exam, look at the situations, and then answer them as they would handle the situation, and it differs depending on their personality or if they're a confrontational person or what their morals and ideals are like. But really, that's not how you score the highest marks in this exam. If you really want to be doing well, you have to understand that you need to be answering these questions as the GMC is expecting an ideal Foundation Year 2 or Foundation Year 1 doctor to be handling these situations. So what is the best practice? What does the GMC expect from you? What is the best case scenario or the best answer that is in line with the GMC's guidance for doctors? This is why it's really important to study for this exam and really important to kind of familiarize yourself with what does the GMC expect me to do? How am I supposed to act? What is expected from me and how am I supposed to solve these situations when they come up for me in the next 2 years? So this exam is not just great to study for because of the marks that you're getting in your allocation, but it's also going to really help you in your 2 years in how to handle and deal with these situations when they come up in real life. So it really does have a real life application. So I want you to go into this exam and answer the question as an ideal ethical doctor of the GMC and following GMC standards, regardless of what you think the right answer would be or what you think you would do in that situation, because that's really not what they're asking. So the good medical practice has 4 domains in it that you will have to familiarize yourself with. The first one is knowledge, skills, and performance. Second one being safety and quality. Third is communication, partnership, and teamwork. And fourth is maintaining trust. This is how they have sectioned their advice for good medical practice for doctors. Previously, anyone who graduated from the UK was given a preference when the jobs were being allocated because they had the natural right to work in the UK, as did EU citizens. But since October of 2019, the rule has changed. There is an RLMT exemption for all doctor jobs, including foundation year jobs. This means that this year, everyone will be competing at an equal level. And so IMGs, as well as UK graduates, as well as EU citizens, will all be allocated according to their foundation program score, rather than having other factors play into the decision, like their nationality or their right to work or where they graduated from. This means that the competition will increase fiercely, and a lot of people last year were affected by this. They were not aware of this change, and a lot of UK citizens and UK graduates were put on the reserve list as a consequence of this, and a lot of IMGs actually got allocated in the primary list because they had higher SJT scores. Hopefully you will be able to maximize your score in this exam, which means that you will be able to get a higher foundation program score. The foundation program score, as we've mentioned before, is made up of your EPM, which is your ranking in medical school, and taking into consideration your research, publications, etc., along with your SJT score. So you already have your EPM if you have put in your eligibility application. That score is now set and not changeable. So the only score that's actually in your hand that you can change is your SJT score. A high foundation program score will enable you to, 1, be on the primary list of jobs and be allocated first, essentially. 2, be allocated in one of your top preferences for places in the UK that you'd like to pursue your foundation program. And 3, you would also be given your preference of rotations in your deanery, and you're more likely to get your top preferences if you have a high foundation program score. Both me and Dr. Hiba were able to get a high foundation program score, and this meant that we both got our top preferences for deaneries, as well as our top preferences for the rotations that we'd like to do in the following 2 years. We were also allocated on the primary list of allocations, despite of being IMGs.
So here's a brief on how SJT will be scored. As we mentioned, that there are 3 sections: the rating section, which is the new section, the MCQ section, which is pick the best 3 out of 8 options, and then the ranking questions. The rating section has 18 scenarios. It is important to know that these are not 18 questions, but 18 scenarios. Each scenario will have 4 to 8 sub-questions. That means there's a minimum of 72 questions in the rating section and a maximum of 144 questions. Then comes to the MCQ, there's 20 questions. Ranking has 37 questions. When we divide them into marks, the rating questions have 4 to 8 subsections per scenario. So there's a range of marks that can be given to that. So from 288 to 576 marks. The MCQ section will have 240 marks, and the ranking questions will have 740 marks. As you can see, the ranking holds a huge chunk of marks, and it is the last section, so it is important to manage your time effectively so that you can get to the ranking section. We did the latest UKFPO practice paper available on Pearson's website. It is closest to what the real exam might be like, but the drawback is that there are no marks given and there's no answers and rationales. So you can't really learn from it as much. However, it is good for time management practice, as well as being familiar with the type of questions, the patterns of it, the software itself. If you're interested in watching how we got 40 plus marks out of 50 in the SJT, watch the second part of this video.
Check out the description box. There's going to be loads of links in there. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can either leave them down below or message us on our Instagram or our Facebook page or through our email. Please like, share, and subscribe. It really helps us out. And hopefully I'll see you guys in our next video.